You allow in some sense for self-interest or the fulfillment of someone's personal goal alongside the service of your collective purpose. Is that I love the idea that world building leads to a kind of more ecumenical relationship to creation than if you're trying to make a single object. But what happens if just among the founders, is there ever a disagreement about where you've taken a world, a part that you've designed? How do you intervene?
All the time. That's the point. It's like we argue. Of course we argue, because like we're different people. We come from different backgrounds. The thing is, there's more similarities than there are differences. That's what we have to always like remind ourselves. And I think really the overriding thing is because we spent so much time with each other. We spent every day. We love each other tremendously. So that's, I think, anything that's like slight conflict, we're deeply hurt, because it's like being in a relationship. Like when we think of relationships, you have your partner, but that's not true. If we were to break up from one another, we would go through the same mourning as a sexual relationship, because you're so close to one another that you do get upset and you do not understand each other. And we also like have to grow together, which I think is the hardest thing, is like, how do you grow together when you have different circumstances? Like that is an incredibly difficult thing, and it's taken so many years and we don't know each other for our entirety as well. And that's also a hard thing to like recognize sometimes, because you think you know the patterns of that person, but you don't always know the patterns of that person. You don't know their childhood. You don't know all these things. So there's pieces missing. So it's like, you have to be very conscientious and also forgiving. Like I think one thing that's been super helpful between us as a three is that actually when we started off, we wanted to do everything together more than we did separate. So there was a mutual kind of feeling that we were all willing to sacrifice our personal practice to work with one another, and we preferred it. And actually we found a lot of strength quite immediately with that. So for example, it's stuff like I remember we did something, the first thing we did, it was only at a book fair or something, and it was comical and not very good, but we realized from that experience that once we did something together, we realized the value of, when you do create something together, you realize the very fact of, we did this together, that's not just mine, it's ours, and I couldn't have done it without you. So that's kind of this like feeling of doing something together, and it's not owned by just you, and it's shared amongst everyone. If you do something on your own, and you say you do an exhibition on your own, and you get loads of validity from it, you're alone with that validity. So it can also be incredibly embarrassing, and it can also be, it's like almost like too much attention towards one individual without being able to share that and express that is actually a huge complication within humanity.